So, today we're going to dive into something really special. It's a complex, poetic audio artwork, and we're going to unpack it together. Think of this as your key to unlocking a mythic story of transformation. An odyssey where every step forward costs something, and our very identity gets reforged along the way. Okay, let's jump right in. The whole journey kicks off with this single line. And it's not just a line, right? It's a signal. It's this conscious choice to leave, to depart. This is the exact moment the traveler says, "I'm ready," and steps into the great unknown.
So where does a journey like this even start? Well, what's so interesting is that the source material throws us directly into what it calls a first flashback origin memory, which tells you everything, doesn't it? Even as we're moving forward, the very first step is actually a look back. The real beginning is in the past.
And right off the bat, we get this huge theme dropped on us. This journey is going to have a cost. It's going to demand a price. And that sacrifice is something that's felt, deep down, long before you can even put a name to it. It's this gut feeling of loss that comes way before the actual event. Now, to make sure this doesn't all feel too abstract, the source brings in this incredible Portuguese proverb. It translates to, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself." It's this powerful idea, which you might know from Khalil Gibran, that reminds us that letting go, which is a huge form of sacrifice, is just a natural, necessary part of a much bigger cycle of life.
All right, so now the landscape of our Odyssey starts to come into focus. We enter the city. But let's be clear, this is not a place of comfort or of belonging. In this story, the city is the main stage for the ordeal. It's the very place where the trial and the transformation happen.
And what's really fascinating here is the stark contrast the source draws between these two huge ideas. So you've got home, which is this memory of salvation. It's what we save by passing through the fire. And then you've got this city, which is more like a fantasy, a dream of citizens who never will arrive. It's a place where you're not meant to build a life. You're just meant to be tested by it.
So what does sacrifice really mean here? The source completely redefines it for us. It isn't just about loss. Not at all. It's actually this profound act of discovery. It's through sacrifice that we learn our true origins, and it's how we're forced to confront that deep, unfillable void inside all of us. And this is just brilliant. It perfectly captures the core paradox of this whole ordeal. How do you find yourself? Well, not through clarity, not in the light. In this journey, your true identity is forged in the dark, in disappearance, in that exact moment you let yourself become nobody. Okay, so things are getting intense. The journey is reaching its peak. The ordeal is becoming a literal trial by fire. The source strips away everything else and boils the entire experience down to just one single overwhelming feeling. And you see this word repeated, right? That's on purpose. It's meant to feel like a frantic heartbeat, pulsing in your ears. It's not just describing the ordeal, it is the experience. Raw, sensory, and totally inescapable. This is it. This is the crucible. It's the moment where the old self is just completely burned away, making space for whatever is supposed to come next. This is the very heart of the transformation. So how does this transformation actually play out? Well, what's fascinating is that it's not just a psychological journey. It's also a technological one. The traveler is navigating this whole thing using a strange hybrid language, something the source calls a kind of cyber shamanism. I mean, check this out. The source describes this incredible hybrid territory. We've got terms like palavra espiritu, which means spirit word, right next to algoritmo generativo, a generative algorithm. The traveler is existing in this AI vector space and is described as ne totalmente humanos, ne totalmente máquinas, neither fully human nor fully machine. They're basically using these brand new interfaces to navigate a truly ancient journey. And this isn't just some abstract poetry. The source calls this a protocolo de performa, a literal set of instructions. So think of it like this. It starts with a real-time input, like a seed word. That word then triggers what's called glossolalia cascades, these chaotic, spirit-like vocalizations. And that vibration becomes information, which becomes consciousness, and then circles all the way back to vibration. It's a blueprint for how we human and a machine can work together to create meaning out of total chaos. You know how in every great mythic journey, the hero has to go down into the underworld? Well, it's a classic move called kathabasis, and this Odyssey is no different. It's time to follow our traveler down into the depths. And there's that repetition again, below, below, below. It's pulling us down right along with the traveler, into this place of darkness and memory and dreams that might just be prophecies.
So, what happens down there in the underworld? Do you lose your mind? No? Actually, it's the exact opposite. The source says reason is reborn down there. It's in that darkness, listening to the dreams of the dead, that the deepest and most surprising truths are finally revealed.
And this is the big takeaway from going down there. It's not about escaping your past, it's about consulting it. The past, these cities of the dead, they hold the patterns for the future. The prophecy for what's about to happen is just waiting there, ready to be understood.
Of course, after every descent, there has to be a return. The ancient Greeks had a word for this, nostos, the homecoming. But here's the thing, after a journey like this one, going home is never simple. You don't just go back to where you started.
And this is such a poignant, almost heartbreaking truth to end on. It's not just that the traveler has changed. No, the transformation is so complete that the destination itself becomes an illusion. The place you were longing for isn't there anymore, because you aren't the same person.
And suddenly, it all clicks. The whole point of this insane ordeal, the sacrifice, the city, the heat, the descent, it was all leading to one single moment of clarity, self-recognition. The price is finally paid in full when you can truly see who you've become.
And this is just the most beautiful final resolution. Home isn't a physical address. You can't find it on a map. Home is that internal moment, that feeling of integration, where the stranger you became out there on the journey is finally reconciled and welcomed back into yourself.
So we're going to end with this thought to carry with you. The story is a circle, right? A return to the beginning. But the person who completes that circle is never, ever the same one who started out. And that paradox sits at the very heart of what it means to live, to lose, and to find yourself all over again.